Everest Live, how's it going? It's May 11th. Instead of hearing Andy's heavy breathing, you're hearing me reminding myself of what day it is. We're here with our great friend, Kristen Harila, and we're going to do some questions and answers with her after the news. So the news in Everest region, first of all, some good news. Just behind me, you can almost see the lights. We can hear the heavy lift drones carrying goods up to Camp 1. They've been flying all day, probably flown nearly 20 flights. And the reason for that is that the Everest rope fixing frenzy is absolutely happening. This morning, Mingmaji from Imagine Nepal, who's a part of the Expedition Operators Association, posted on Instagram that he was going to go it alone and his team was going to fix the routes to the summit because they didn't want to wait for the rope fixing team, who was understandably exhausted, to come up one day later. So much drama ensues. Thankfully, clear minds also have prevailed, and all of the expedition teams are sending manpower up onto the mountain tonight, and they will begin the rope fixing process late tonight through tomorrow, and we're looking at Everest's first summits, almost guaranteed, weather providing. Let's see what happens. We'll know more tomorrow, but my money is on May 13th. We'll give you more information on this tomorrow, but it looks like it's happening, and it's a nice scene to see all the different trekking companies coming together again to make it happen. Again, after a prompting from Mingmaji, who's perhaps the most impatient of the bunch. So in sad news, as many of you may have seen in our earlier dispatch today, there has been the second death of the season on Mount Makalu. American citizen Shelley Johansson was climbing with her husband. They summited on the 9th, and on their way down, unfortunately, the team was caught in an avalanche above Camp 2. Shelley lost her life, and her guide, a Sherpa guide, Tawa Sherpa, was badly injured. Seems like some spinal injury, like a very serious injury. He was rescued off the mountain today, along with the rest of the team. So very sad news. Earlier in the season also, Czechoslovakian climber David Robanek was killed on Makalu. Makalu is a difficult and dangerous mountain, and our condolences go out to Shelley's family and loved ones. I'm sure it was a very, very traumatic experience for them. And our love and light is going out to Tawa, hoping for a fast and successful recovery. So that's basically the Everest news as we have it. Everyone now, again, still the chatter about the weather is in a frenzy. But if you check every different weather report, everyone says something different. All we really know is that the 13th and the 14th look pretty good. After that, it's a toss-up. Have you heard anything different about the weather, Kristen?
Well, it looks like good until late 13, start of 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. But I think if I can say something about that, I think it's very important that we are patient here about pushing rope fixing.
Yeah.
It's super challenging up there. And we were in Camp 3 when they started to fix like up to the yellow band. And it's so hard. It's super hard. So I think we should be more patient with them.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we should give them the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, and it's early in the season. Okay, last year we were 1 week earlier up to the summit, but it's plenty of time. It's 3 weeks left of the season, and it will be warmer, and it will be plenty of days to summit.
Yeah, absolutely. Everest climbers can be very, very impatient people.
Yeah, but there's no reason to be so impatient because it's better windows later.
Yeah.
It will be warmer, it will be better steps, and it will be less people spreading the people out instead of going on the first wave.
Yeah, totally. So just since we're on that topic, when you were up in Camp 3 and you saw these rope fixing teams go up, for people who haven't, like, it's not something you often see in like Instagram or in images. Like, what is the job of the rope fixers? Why is it so hard? Like, what do they have to do? What have you witnessed yourself?
It takes much longer time. So you have to stop and wait much longer, and that makes you colder. So that's one thing. Of course, they have to carry the ropes and the ice screws and the ice bar. And that's, of course, much more heavy than to just go. So when we go and fix ropes, we can put the Jumar in and the safety, and we can move like steady up. But they have to be behind and one go in front and set the ice bar or the ice screw. and the other weight behind, and then they move up. So it takes so much longer time.
Right.
So yeah, I think we should be more patient.
And they've been, this year too, the weather hasn't been great. Like they've been fixing the ropes through terrible weather.
Yeah, really, really bad weather up there. And we had so much wind up in Camp Tree. Even though it said it wasn't supposed to be so much wind, but it was windy.
Yeah.
So it's super challenging for them. And also we were in the tent about to sleep, and two Sherpa came up into our tent, and they were carrying up to Camp Tree, and they were so tired. It's super hard to carry up there.
Yeah, totally. And what we're going to see too is now the ropes are up to Camp 4. So this last section is also the most exposed and dangerous part of the Everest climb. And there are sections of that where they're going to need to fix 2, and in one section, even 3 different ropes, so that there's crowd control up there. So people going up can go up on one rope and down on another rope. And that delays that process even further, right?
Super hard. It's so challenging. And up there, you're above 8,000 meters. They're also going to carry their oxygen to have enough to go all the way up or halfway up or how far they go. But it's very, very challenging for them. And it's colder, it's more wind, and reaching almost 8,900, it's very challenging.
Yeah. Well, huge respect to the rope fixing teams. Yeah. I totally agree with the need for patience.
Yeah, and I think it's important for climbers to remember the job that's been done before we are coming up. Like I've been up very early last season and this season, and climbers are normally here or in Camp 2 waiting, while the Sherpas go up and down and up and down, and they set the camp, and like just building the platform in Camp 3, super hard and challenging, and so you get so exhausted of working hard up there. So for climbers, I think we all should be like more patient and not push on like, when can I go to the summit? When can we go up? Like let them do the job. And we don't know like if they manage to go the whole way. So don't like start and plan to go up yet.
Yeah.
Let them fix and wait for the next weather window.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen. And since we've got you here, I'm going to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Is that right? So I'm sure nearly everyone who's watching knows who Kristen Harila is. If you don't, Kristen Harila holds the current record for the fastest time to climb all 14 8,000-meter peaks. It was a record that was hard-earned, took you 2 years to do it, but you finally got it. But Kristen's hot take that we were just talking about in the tent before we did this is that Kristen actually really doesn't care about records. So explain to me how that works.
Yeah, people don't believe me, but in 2021, when I decided to try to take the 14, it was because I had experience in many different ways that it was very far from equal in this mountaineering world, with sponsors and here and on the mountains. So I decided I wanted to like change that. And that was like the main thing. And I think, I hope it would be easier for like younger girls to get sponsorship and to be on the mountains. And that's why I wanted to take the record.
And that, I remember when I first interviewed you, you couldn't even find a down suit in your size.
Yeah.
That was made for women.
That was one of the problems. Like I had a custom made in Kathmandu in 2021 because it was impossible. Like men's size in small was like way too big for me. So that's what really started it. Yeah.
And then you went on to completely destroy the record. You didn't just beat the record. You basically halved the time of the record.
Yeah, but I wasn't alone about it.
Yes.
I wasn't. I shared it with my climbing partner and Sherpa Lama.
Yeah.
That died in 23, some months after, but I would never have made it without him. And we were like a really good team together. And for me to share the record, it's more important than the record itself. Yeah. So I was just like very happy that we actually managed, because it's harder to share.
Yeah.
Because you have to be 2 people in shape and not get injured and manage to work together for so many mountains. And so I'm very happy we managed to do it together.
Absolutely. And so just for your experience, with the record, I can imagine that it's something that was really exciting for a short period of time. And then all of a sudden you have that adrenaline let down and you're left with the pieces of your life. Is that true? Like, was the record like a fleeting thing? Is that part of why you don't really care about records anymore?
Well, I never feel scared. And I never feel like big adrenaline or...
Okay.
I love to be in the mountains. And of course, climbing 14 peaks in 3 months is super hard. It's very, very hard. But I didn't have any like or when I came home, like it was like the K2 accident and the llama died, and it was just like this big other things that took so much time of my life. So we didn't even have like.
You didn't have a chance to enjoy it.
No, we didn't. We didn't, and it took so much away from the nice things about being in the mountains. Because the reason I'm here is that I love to climb mountains. And then this record and this 14 Peak project came, and but after Lama passed away, I was like trying to find my way back to the mountains, but of course without him it was never the same.
And so you're back here now this season, trying to do a climb that you actually didn't even know would be another record, but is the Triple Crown without oxygen. To my knowledge, it's never been done without oxygen. Is that right?
Well, I don't know.
We don't know either, and it doesn't matter.
I don't Google it, and I don't care. I just saw this beautiful mountain the first time I came up to Camp 2 here, Nuptse, and I was glad it wasn't 8,000, because then I had to climb it in 22 and 23, and it looks so challenging and so hard. But I saw it, and I was like, I really want to climb that mountain one day.
Great. And so this season, if everything goes according to plan, you'll climb Nuptse, Lhotse, and Everest without oxygen. Great. And so you spend a lot of time training for this. I remember you were up here last year as well, training kind of for this. And so you spend a lot of time on your own. You just went up to Camp 3 on your own. In these like really extreme environments, without oxygen. I'm just curious, like, do you feel when you're in camp, do you feel like, does it feel like Lama's with you? Do you remember him? Are you able to connect with him as well as the mountain, or is it just the mountain? Yeah,
it's actually really nice, because the higher I get up and the closer to the mountain, I feel he's around. And like he's watching. And I've been alone so much last year and also this year. I will have a Sherpa on the next rotation. And on the summit push, maybe it would be a summit push from Nuptse, we don't know, but I will have one with me. That was a friend of Lama also, so I know him well. But last year I was alone, and this first rotation alone. And I feel he's closer and nice to be up there. Last year I felt more like sad to be alone, and I was like missing him so much. But I wanted to like take the mountains back and be in the mountain and try to like enjoy the mountain. And the reason I came here the first time is that I love to climb mountains, and I wanted to have that back in my life. And I know this is I know I said it before.
I've heard this a few times, Kristen.
But this is my last big expedition to the high mountains. If we get a permit to go to Shishapangma again, I will go. And it's show you that I have one time. So maybe I go back one time, or if it opens to have another search after him. But this is my last big expedition, and I have 29 summits on 8,000 meters. So it's pretty many. So I will try to enjoy this expedition, going up and just being in the mountain and have a nice time there.
That's wonderful. I will point out that you immediately caveated that this was your last big expedition with the fact that you might do 2 other expeditions. I'm just going to point that out, Kristen.
But I love the mountain, but it's also like it takes a lot of time.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of money and a lot of way. Like my sister's baby, she's 4, had birthday like some days ago, and I was like really missing home and couldn't be there. And so so I'm sure this is my last. My last.
It's a very disruptive life.
And it's so much risk also in this. And I really think that if we are honest about the accident that happens, it's very often mistakes that's been done. And it's hard to be honest about that, because people die and they are gone. But very often it's mistakes. But there's also a bit of luck and unluck.
Absolutely.
And I have 29 summits, and I want to live and I want to do other things in my life. So I think it's time, after this.
Well, we support that fully, and I think the ways that you've inspired so many women and also so many people just like me in general, that won't fade if you don't keep climbing mountains. And it'll probably be made even more powerful if you live to a beautiful old age
Yeah.
and can continue inspiring us.
Yeah, and I think I will be a part of the community and also working with the foundation,
Yep.
trying to make it more safe in the mountains, especially for the Sherpas and the people working in the mountains, because we see that it's too much risk on them. And I think it's our responsibility as climbers coming here to try to make it safer, try to like be more prepared when we are coming here. It's very important also to reduce the risk. And we know when something happens up there, it's always the Sherpa that have to go out and rescue people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. And so the foundation too is the Lama Sherpa Foundation. We'll have a link for that in the liner notes for that if people want to get involved and support. But I totally agree with you. I think that that's something that with the commercialization of climbing, we've lost sight of. This idea that we also have a responsibility to give back.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. And I think also like I feel also responsibility for that, because when I climb, it seems like it's easy.
Yeah.
And I climb from here to Camp 1 in 4 hours, and it looks like it's easy, and people follow and see that, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it's very, very hard.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of preparation that climbers should do before they come and try to summit the highest mountain in the world.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Andy, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. Is it best to go slow, conserve energy, or is it best to kind of go fast in the death zone? What's your opinion on that?
I think it's best to know your body before you go. So you need to have a lot of experience to know like how fast you can go. Like the first year I was climbing, I was never moving so fast as I do now. But now I know my body, and then it's better for me to be fast because I spend less time in the ice fall and it's less risky. But if you don't know your body and where your limits are, then you should have more experience before you go higher.
Yeah. Because that's another risk is pushing beyond your limits and then running out of gas up high. And that's a real dangerous thing.
Yeah, and that's the only way to know that is that you need to climb mountains and you need to go lower and see how you feel and have more experience with that. So, yeah.
Totally.
Second question. The kind of in the death zone, is there another way out, or do you have to come back in the way you came out? Does that make sense?
On Everest.
Yeah.
It's turning around before before you cross the line. And that's also about knowing your body and know like the altitude, and that's also a like reason to worry a little bit now with like more oxygen and earlier oxygen, because if you get problem with your bottle higher up, you're not so acclimatized. So
right.
Yeah, like earlier it was always 3 rotations for like almost all companies, and everyone were like at least touching Camp 3. Now it's different, and people will experience more trauma in the body if they get problems higher up on the mountain with the oxygen bottles.
And to the question too, the way that modern 8,000 meter mountaineering is set up is there's never like a bail route. There's a fixed line up and you come down that fixed line. You are completely committed to retracing your steps. There's never a way that you can kind of bail and get to safety if you get in trouble.
No.
On Everest, I mean, it's either you're going down the Kanshin face in Tibet or you're cartwheeling down to Camp 2. There's no option.
Yeah, but I will also say, like, to all climbers now, it's the mountain is there, and it will be there forever. So, and many believe that like summit is the goal, but the goal is to come safely back down. And on the summit, you're only halfway.
Yep.
So if you don't feel like that you have good control, then it's better to turn around.
It's so obvious, but it's something that people often forget.
Yeah.
A question about your preparation. What do you do? How long does it take to get you here?
Yeah, I climb mountains. That's it. It's very easy. People always ask me like, how should I prepare and how should I like be good on climbing mountains? And it's, you have to climb mountains. That's it. And it doesn't help to go, it helps, but it doesn't cover like all the things to go to the Alps or climbing mountains in Norway. You have to come here, and you have to start 4,000, 5,000, work on 6 and do many 6,000 meter and then 7, and then you can go to 8. So it's a long process, but the best way to train is to climb mountains.
And then the final question is about kind of videos on social media and these 360 cameras. Doesn't look too tough. Do you agree?
Well, I agree that it doesn't look so hard in social media as it is. It's much harder. It's super, super hard. Yeah.
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 I mean, even, it's a story I'm working on right now for Outside, like climbing Everest, even with all of the espresso at base camp.
Yeah.
It's really, really effing hard for everybody.
Yeah, and I see that like people saying, oh, base camp is a luxury camp now, and climbers have like so many Sherpas and so much support, and even if you have a luxury camp here and you have so much of everything, you still have to climb the mountain.
You still have to sleep in Camp 3.
And it's still going to be cold. It's still going to be so hard. And it's not easy to climb mountains, and especially like Everest. It's super high and very, very challenging.
And it's like I haven't been up there, but this, the studying that I've done, the people I've talked to, the stuff I've read, it is absolute survival above Camp 3. It's not joyful. I mean, as much as people edit it to make it look good. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's suffering. Like if you're going to be good on climbing mountains, you have to be like good on suffering. Like and that's why people say, oh, what's special with you? And are you so good climbing mountains? And I'm not. I'm just very good on being very uncomfortable for a very long time. So.
And that's why I haven't climbed Everest, because I'm not good at it.
It's very uncomfortable, and it's risky also. So I think like people have to take that seriously. Like if you don't feel well, and you have to go down and do another try or come back later.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Kristen.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
So you're heading up potentially tonight?
Yeah, potentially tonight, going for a try on Nuptse, or waiting for the next window. Let's see. It's not confirmed yet, but we will see.
Well, we'll be rooting for you.
Yeah,
we'll keep everyone posted.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's Everest Live. We'll see you tomorrow.